Ben, Friday, May 13th, Friday the 13th, the week of Crypto Bloodbath 2022. I've got some rare footage of the bloodbath, the crypto bloodbath, that I think you need to see. And yet, the bleeding has yet to stop. I guess it depends how you look at it. We're looking at this in a totally different eye. Man, it was hard to find a good spot to stop on that movie. I had forgotten how long it had been since I've seen it, but you can just keep watching.
It just made me, yeah, I'm putting that on the list tonight. I'll watch that tonight. I forgot how good I like that movie.
Oh, man, it's so good. So we've been talking, this moment has been coming, Ben. We have been talking about this. The MetaMentors have been talking about this for months now, along with all the rest of the crypto community and everybody else that's been through this before. We knew there was going to be a big fall. The question is have we hit the bottom? Is this as bad as it looks like it could be? All these things. Well, you and I like to focus on the opportunities. You and I put this channel together because that's what we were doing in our personal lives and amongst each other, and thought, why not bring this to everybody else? We're going down this path. Let's do this. So this is the moment we've been waiting for. We've got some massive opportunities to review, but let's just kind of start off, I guess, with getting into the news and, of course, our disclaimer.
All right. Well, everything that we talk about on this channel is for entertainment and informational purposes only. Don't take anything we say as financial advice. For one reason, if you go back and look at our first 14 episodes, we've suggested you invest strongly in a lot of projects, and every single one of them is lower than it was when we suggested you buy in. So this is not financial advice. This is just for your entertainment and information. You do your own research, talk to your own financial team before you make those kind of investments. Now, for the news this week in crypto, ton of exciting stuff is happening this week. Obviously, a lot of less than exciting news, but let's start with the good news first. First up, let me bring up First up, HiveMind and Algorand acquired Napster, one of Web 2.0's most infamous websites and applications. Got it right here. This is just them announcing it here on Twitter. It allowed users to use peer-to-peer networks to download free music. Obviously, that didn't go over well with the music industry, but it did sort of introduce a whole new aspect to the internet experience, allowing people to get their music from other people, not necessarily from a centralized source. So kind of early decentralized, and especially if you were bringing it in torrents, it was coming from several computers to your computer, which made it, break down and come in a little easier. So Algorand is acquiring Napster along with HiveMine. Algo has its own crypto, so you can invest directly in those type of projects by buying their coin. Their Algo coin at its highest was in November of last year, is at 285. This week in the bloodbath, it dropped to as low as 34 cents. That was only a couple days ago. It's already back up over 40% to 49 cents.
Yeah.
So it's had a rough week and it dropped pretty low, but it's already on the way back up. And I think that might be the theme with a lot of these right now. Like 100%. You said, I don't know if we're just kind of bouncing and then going to continue to retrace and go further down. But from when Ryan and I started talking about this episode of 2 days ago, it was all red. And then waking up this morning, I'll tell you what did it. I just got off the phone with my brother before we started recording this, and he said, "You're welcome." He decided he couldn't take it anymore and sold a lot of his crypto. No. And he said since then, because he figured it was going to just keep going down, so he's going to buy it and try to rebuy it when it hit lower. So he said last night he sold a lot, and one of the coins that we are heavily invested in is the XYO, the coin app, the geospatial token. And he said since he sold it, it's already back up 48%. Actually, last I checked, it was up 52%. I've held on to mine, but he has way more than I do. So he said next time. Go ahead.
It's the Kirsting curse.
Well, that's what he said. Next time he has some big ideas, he's just going to let me know. And he suggested I do the opposite. So thank you, Josh, for stopping the immediate bleeding in the crypto market by selling all of yours. Everybody appreciates it, but who knows what's going to happen next. One thing, along with the Napster acquisition and some of the other stuff we're going to talk about, one thing that I mentioned to Ryan that we need to stress this episode is that regardless of the price of some of these crypto projects, some of the tokens, and some of the coins, the Web3 and the decentralized internet moves on. All of these people, I mean, this stuff, while the market is dropping, they are buying major projects, major companies, major websites. There's new technology dropping every day. There's new games coming out every day. They're moving right along. Just because the market has fluctuated doesn't mean the technology or the mass adoption is changing. Ryan and I were talking about very similar to 2020, right before the traditional stock market dropped. You know, if you were buying Coke products or Coke stock in February of 2020, a month later, the stock price cut in half, went from 60 to about 30. Nobody didn't get their Coca-Cola. Almost nobody. I'm sure there was a lot of people that sold, but a lot of people hung on to it. The dividends stayed the same. The company was the same. Nothing really changed in the world of Coca-Cola. Just the whole stock market, you know, fluctuated because of all of the supply chain issues and the lockdowns and stuff like that. The company doesn't change. The intellectual property doesn't change. The actual formula of Coca-Cola doesn't change. It's just the emotional and financial fluctuations of the market. One of the things that we'll get into here in just a little bit is they were talking about how some of this stuff, some of these projects that are getting oversold, it has zero to do with the company and more just with the market in whole. When inflation's up, when gas is up, when house prices are up and money is hard to come by, people have to liquidate their assets. People have to sell stocks. They have to sell Bitcoin. They have to sell stuff in order to get to the next, you know, if they're getting ready to buy a house, it doesn't matter where you're at. You got to take your loss. You know, you got to get your money. And they said some of these projects are getting oversold by a ton. And it's because the market is going down. The stock, you know, if it was one project, which there are projects that are, you know, specifically going down, but if, you know, everything was going up and XVG or XRP all of a sudden just dropped, then you'd know, well, that's probably a bad project. But the whole market, and not just the whole market, but the stock market and inflation is going, the dollar's worth less. It's like, of course, we're going through a rough time. That is crypto and the world finance as a whole.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's all
not a,
emotions. We all know that. We know that. We knew it was coming. We knew it was emotions. You and it's hard when you got a lot of money tied up in it, but you have to try and really detach from there because there's so many opportunities. But if you're blinded by emotions, it's hard to see those.
We talk about it the whole way up when Bitcoin's going good and altcoins are going good and the stock market's going good. They say, hey, you got to be ready because eventually it will downturn. And that's not a time to sell. That's a time to buy. That's time to be ready for that. You take your profits when you're going up. And as you go down, you start buying and acquiring more. And everybody's on board when Bitcoin's at $50,000 plus. But as soon as it starts dropping, they start selling. Everybody panics. We go over this. I feel like every wave for the last several years, this happens. And every time people are prepared for the drop until the drop happens. And then everybody loses their mind and sells everything. So don't sell everything. Hang on to it. There are great projects coming. Another one coming down the pipe is called America. Well, go ahead.
I'm sorry. And you're continuing to say it, but let me just reiterate that, which is what our channel is about, is invest in the projects, not the actual financial part of it. I mean, that's a huge part of it. But if you're just buying into something, this is my opinion. Because I seen it. I didn't get involved in crypto at all until November. Prior to that, for years, I had guys coming up to me because I'm in real estate and, deal with a considerable amount of money, wanting to know if I bought this token, bought this coin, and I'd say, no, I haven't. Tell me about it. And they couldn't tell me anything about it. Their response was, well, it's 0.00004. Throw $100 on it. What do you got to lose? That's not a reason to invest to me. Like, that's gambling, and I'm not much of a gambler. You know a little bit better about this, Ben. But
yeah.
Point being is invest in the project, and in order to decide what projects you're going to invest in, do the research on them, see what you like, what hits home for you, and invest in the project. Because then when it does tank, you're excited because you want to buy more, not run like hell.
Right, and that's the idea, and that's the sense of a knowledgeable investor. Although when you said 0.0004, I almost wanted to ask you what it was, because I felt like buying $100 of it, because that's how I do a lot of things is buy the super cheap stuff. Not always the smartest idea, but occasionally it pays off. But there are great projects.
Me also, but usually I look for a little bit behind it, or I know it's a complete gamble.
Yeah, you're right. It is a gamble if you're looking to invest, and actually pick some good projects. There are good projects out there right now. One of the new applications coming down the line, one of the new Web3 projects, big into NFTs right now, Americana.io. They're actually making a chip that will go along with either a luxury good. They've got art projects, they've got furniture, cars, anything of value in the real world, you can basically tokenize, make into an NFT, so you can track ownership, sales, value and authenticity. So you can make sure that what you're buying is the real thing. They're talking about putting them on Rolexes and stuff like that. And it uses the blockchain to verify not just the fact that it's real, but who owns it. So you'll be able to sell real world items on open markets like OpenSea. So you'll be able, if you've got Pokemon cards, movie memorabilia, designer shoes, anything like that, they're making an actual chip that will go on the product, in the product, or with the product. And you'll be able to sell stuff like you can see here on the screen, Teslas, purses, shoes, whatever you want on OpenSea, and it'll be verifiable on the blockchain. You'll actually have proof of ownership and proof of authenticity, which they're not even launched yet, but they've got a lot of partners. They're accepting partners. They've got a website up, Americana.io. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that it's like, regardless of the movement of prices in the market, these companies are producing great technology right now, and now's the time to get in while the price is good.
Right. Yeah, that seems like a game changer. Any idea what the chips are going to cost, and are they available right now, or what's the timeline?
No, I saw a couple of different prices. They were talking pretty cheap on the actual chips, but I don't recall if there was a difference in getting a chip for like a Pokemon card or getting a chip for a car. So it's very early yet. They do have a little bit of information on this website. It looks great. Like I said, American.io. You can click around, see what's on there, get on their email list. But a lot of it is kind of just building attention right now and looking for partners in the project. So
yeah, love the name. I could get behind a name like that.
Yeah. I thought with everything going on, Americana sounds like old classic, collectibles. Of course, they're showing Teslas and Coach purses and Picasso paintings. But yeah, I like Americana. That's got my attention. Americana.io is the website. And in addition, speaking of NFTs, we've got a new NFT-based play-to-earn game that is not new at all. It's called The Immortal Game. It's the world's first chess-based play and earn game. Ryan and I were talking about this. The cool part about this is everybody knows how to play chess, or at least has some idea. It's very simple to earn. It's not Axie Infinity. It's not Illuvium. It's not Star Atlas where you got to go fly around. You could set your grandpa up with this, and he could be playing to earn crypto right now via chess. And they have some great NFTs. So it's a basically just chess, which is the best part. There's nothing extra on here. You're not taking these chess pieces and going and playing trading card games or floating around the world. You've got these cool chess pieces. You're playing basic standard chess versus random players or versus people that you can challenge people. You're winning these NFT tokens that are coming with it. They've got two different tokens, one that you win, like a native token, a utility token for when you win the games. And then they've got these stakeable tokens and the governance tokens that they give to the best players, that you can build up a lot of these smaller tokens and win. So, like basically the silver and gold tokens, you're earning silver to try to get to gold. And I was showing Ryan some of that. I'll just play this little video, just a little teaser video.
Yeah, there's just something about this, like we were talking about, like this is a bridge between those who are into NFTs and are not, or Web3 or not. And there's just something, I mean, chess is withstood time, and there's something behind that. And when you're taking something like that with so much history and bringing it into the future, there's just something really, really cool about that. And like you said, and they're keeping it chess. Like they understand we don't need to reinvent this. Chess is chess. Let's just build upon it.
It's the best of both worlds because they've got these great NFTs. This artwork for these NFTs is, let me find it here. Here we go. Check out some of these. The artwork is amazing, and you can build up, you can customize, you can get these different chess pieces, but it's still the basic game of chess. And if you get a robot queen and your friend has an old wooden tiki queen, it's not like your queen is more powerful. It's still just chess. But they make these great 3D animated chess pieces that are NFTs, so you can take out into the open market. You can buy and sell. You can build them up. You can adapt. The more you win, the more of these tokens you get, the more customizations you're able to do with your chess piece. You can customize your whole board. Your custom team can play against the other team's custom chess pieces. And you're playing to earn. So you can, they've got actual coins that can be exchanged for any other crypto or real money. You know what I mean?
We're gonna have to maybe do some more on this one, or like I'd really like. We don't have enough time today, but man, I'd really like to hear more about this one.
Right, and their beta launch comes out, I think it says on here, this month or next month, or maybe they're in the beta launch and getting ready. Yeah, April and May. So they've got about 5,000 players. They're getting ready to drop the NFTs. The full launch comes out June of this year. So to me, that's a play to earn game that I would play. That I could play every day. The card games, the stuff like that. It's like that. There's a little bit of a novelty to that, and I like it. But we've been playing chess for forever. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. Not just us, but humanity has been playing chess for a long time. So this is a beautiful coming together of the NFT capabilities with this type of artwork and a classic game that everybody can play, and in a play to earn model. Immortal.game. That's the website. It'll be linked below. Check it out. They've got a lot going on their website. So you got plenty to click around, plenty to look at. Some of these chess pieces I think you'll really like. And I mean, those would just look great in your wallet. Speaking of which, Ryan mentioned to me that, was it Bored Ape Yacht Club just got their chess pieces. They teamed with a toy company that makes really great toy NFTs, and they've made and designed an entire Bored Ape Yacht Club chess set. Correct?
It's Ism Toys out, and they're out of Canada, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a young, like 18, 19-year-old kid and his father. They 3D print toys. They're hand painted. And they just came out with their own NFT line a while back, but these are actually separate. But I had seen, I don't know much about it. I just caught it in a Twitter feed where they had just recently created, and I don't know if they're building them in numbers or if somebody asked them to do this, but they created a Bored Ape Yacht Club chess board with its pieces. And and I think it might be made to order, because I think you can tell them which Bored Ape Yacht Club's members what NFTs you want, what figures you want there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Everything this toy company is creating is, it is top notch. It's beautiful work. And so I didn't have time to look into it, but man, it's really cool stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. And to be able to bring your Bored Ape into the chess game to play, it's a whole nother level, because it's a very small crowd that's able to have a Bored Ape chess piece. So to be able to bring that into the game, take it out of the game. I mean, the capabilities of NFT gaming, we aren't even scratching the surface yet of some of the cool parts of it. And with this game, this Immortal game, they've got a lot of positives going on. They've got a lot of commercial partners. But one of the coolest things is they have over 40 chess ambassadors, including some actual worldwide chess grandmasters. Number 4 in the world, number 2 in the world. They've got Indian chess masters. They've got a couple of them listed here on their website. But you forget that. I know there's Call of Duty games, and there's Halo games, and there's world champions of this, but there have been chess grandmasters for hundreds of years. Like this, there's a whole world outside of computers that exists, and it's cool because they've already partnered with 40 of these guys to help promote it, and to be able, I'm sure you'll be able to get on there and either play with them or watch them play. They'll probably have custom NFTs. I just think that this project, they really have shot forward by going back. And like you point out, the bridge that this is, this isn't for 17-year-old kids only. This is for anybody, including 17-year-olds, but up to grandparents. You could set your grandparents up on this. and they're going to know how to play. And once they get hooked and they start earning and start customizing some of their chess pieces, I think anybody could really like this game. So a huge project that we're looking forward to, that I'm definitely looking forward to, and definitely going to play Ryan in. And I think that'll be a good time once that drops.
Yeah, these are the type of things that really get me excited because of the bridges, the connecting values that, you know, when you talk to people and they're like, why would I buy a JPEG? Why would I buy NFTs? These are the connecting dots that you see with the technology. Just to go back what you were saying about the market, we're watching crypto take a dive, but the technology is doing things like this that's skyrocketing. So it's all on emotions. Yeah, I apologize, it's kind of small there, but you can, I mean, look at the detail
Right.
of
that looks like a carved wood figurine of a Bored Ape chess set.
I was trying to see. This is the, I forget his name now, but this is the kid, for lack of better words, 18, 19 years old. But there was just a colored version of it. Anyways, man, super exciting stuff. Okay, go ahead.
That's cool. And so, that's like, I want to stress to anybody that's watching this, that's in panic mode, don't be. There are so many good projects coming down the road. The prices will fluctuate on everything, but as long as the technology is increasing and the adoption is increasing, then there's nowhere to go but up. We like, I have anything to do with it, we've enjoyed the ride on everybody else's success. I mean, the market, when it goes up, it keeps going up, and the prices have gotten ridiculously high. That's great, but there always has to be some of that consolidation. It has to come back down because of everything going on right now. Some of these projects got oversold and it came down really hard, but it's going to bounce. It's going to come back up, and these good projects are going to shine through. They always do. Nothing to worry about.
And they're at bottom. Well, we don't know if it's the bottom, but they're throwing around bottom barrel pricing. Right. So, I mean, massive opportunities here. That was another picture of it. Sorry, we're going to get stuck on here all day if I have anything to do with it. But very
gotcha.
Cool
That's stuff. Just another artist rendering of the chess set right there. So
yeah. So it looks like maybe he's creating multiple different sets.
That's cool.
Yeah, I might have to get one of those with some other type of figurine, not Bored Ape, but
right. You can't afford a Bored Ape. You can come over here to immortal.game and get some of those.
Yeah, maybe after this market I might be able to. Okay.
All right, back at it. So, lots of good news. Now, bad news. And nothing kicks off bad news in the I can't.
Chris,
nothing kicks off
nothing
kicks off bad news in the crypto market like a Matt Damon article. In our pre-show, when we started talking about this, I was just getting ready to drop this bomb on you, and you had to you reset your microphone and had to back out. But Matt Damon, there are a million articles right now about people basically mad at Matt Damon for them losing money in the crypto industry. If you remember, even before our episode where they made fun of Matt Damon on South Park, back in the Super Bowl, he had an advertisement for crypto.com where he was encouraging people to consider crypto investing as part of their financial strategy. One of the company he had teamed up with was crypto.com, which is an American-based crypto exchange. They've got a crypto debit card. They've got a lot of stuff that you can do. I don't have that information up. But you can invest. You can store your NFTs. You can do all sorts of stuff on crypto.com. He made a commercial. He was paid to do a commercial to advertise for this company. And now people are mad at him because all the articles, their whole thesis, their whole basis for being upset is if you would have bought in crypto, if you would have bought Bitcoin the weekend that this commercial came out for, I believe it was at $38,000. It jumped up that weekend. If you remember Super Bowl weekend, it went from 38 to about 42. But Super Bowl weekend, it was about $38,000. Had you bought a Bitcoin then, it's now only worth $31,000. So they said if you had $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, now it's worth less than 600, and people are mad at Matt Damon for encouraging it. And I thought, okay, that's just one article. Well, if you go to Google and you type in Matt Damon Bitcoin, right now in the last week, there's probably 20 articles of companies blaming Matt Damon, and most of them have these Twitter clips from people on Twitter yelling at him. I mean, they're just so mad at Matt Damon.
Is this a result of the South Park episode, or do you think this would have happened even without that?
I think the South Park episode is a result of people on Twitter. You know what I mean? I think South Park echoes culture. You know, like Simpsons predicts it, but South Park echoes it. So I don't think they predicted this. I think that they saw how ridiculous people are, because people got so mad about him being in that crypto ad that I think that's why they made fun of it. And now people are even more mad, because if you would have bought Bitcoin then, you lost 40%. You know, like I said, it was at 38,000. It dropped to 26,000 this week, but it's already back up to 31. So
yeah,
we're probably not too far away from it being at Super Bowl prices again. I just don't understand. This kind of ties in with the Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being mad at somebody 2 years ago who was in a Coca-Cola commercial, and then the stock market drops and their stock price goes from 60 to 30? You know what I mean? And then getting on Twitter and saying, you know, oh, I can't believe whoever's in the Coca. No. You know, I can't believe this actor advertised for me to buy Coca-Cola, and now the Coca-Cola stock.
It's just a total sign of the times to me that so many people don't want to take responsibility for things that are going on in their life. And It's just much easier to do this. And if with something like this, somebody that was sitting on the sidelines and not doing some research and looking to take advantage of this technology and stuff that's going on, and mostly because they don't know, if as a person, if you had a fraction of an idea of what was going on behind the scenes with this technology and Web3 and crypto and NFTs, there would be no question in your mind about where you would be investing. But most people don't have that. And so instead, they like to make fun of people. So then when this stuff happens, they're like, see, I told you, Ben. I told you that whole metaverse thing was a whole poof. We're living in the metaverse. There's Ben again, living in the meta. So this is just an opportunity to basically affirm what their belief is already, which I hate that people are like that. But to me, that just screams opportunity, because all these people are either not getting involved or bailing, or like just so much more opportunity for people that are paying attention and willing to educate themselves.
Yeah. And especially the people talking, who are upset at Matt Damon on Twitter, they're idiots, because nowhere in the commercial does he suggest even that you buy crypto, especially Bitcoin. It's not a Bitcoin commercial. That's like being mad at somebody who advertises for Bank of America that the dollar is worth less. That's not Bank of America's fault that the dollar is worth less. He was advertising the crypto.com app, where you can buy and sell crypto, where they have banking services. You can loan money and receive loans for money. You can store your NFTs. It's a whole service. He was advertising crypto.com. Now, if crypto.com was a giant rug pull, if 2 months after his commercial, they took all the money and folded up and went away, then it would be like, oh, you should do better research into a company that you're, advertising for. But this is not that. He was advertising crypto.com, which crypto.com is a very solid company and is, it took the bump like everybody, but it's already recovered 20 or 30%. I bought a bunch of those as soon as it dropped.
Yeah.
I love crypto.com. And that was what he was advertising, not suggesting that you buy Bitcoin. But the whole point of all of these articles, that every one of them points out, if you would have bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, it'd only be worth $600 now. So just ridiculous. Oh, you got the ad up?
Yeah, I didn't turn on the volume since you were
Oh, that's all right.
talking.
Yeah,
But
anybody who doesn't know, that's
oh
Matt
yeah,
Damon, just advertising crypto.com financial services.
it's a great
And
commercial too. Fortune favors the brave. Like,
yeah,
and it's in time, and you and I believe time will tell. Which, and maybe you're getting to this point, so I don't want to jump the gun. But you yesterday brought up a really you pointed something out to me about opportunities when it comes to this stuff. So I don't want to give it away. So I know we're getting that direction, but
yeah, that's actually where we're headed right now. Obviously, some of these projects are taking bigger hits than others. Crypto.com took a hit like everything else, but a a coin or a project that takes a market hit on their coin or their stock is way different than a company that takes a hit to their core. It's not like crypto.com again was hacked and lost $10 billion or decided, hey, everything that they're doing isn't working and they had to close up shop. There are companies in the downtimes like this, companies and projects that are more solid and better financial choice, safer choices. There are some stable choices that are not that stable. As everybody this week probably knows, Luna is one of them. I guess we'll get into that in just a second. Before we do, we'll talk about another article pops up that Bitcoin and everything is going down. And it's not just Bitcoin and the crypto markets, it's all the traditional markets. And this article goes in to talk about it. We'll have these articles posted down below in the description, but it goes in cycles. It always has, it always will. When we're going up, things seem really good and everything kind of goes up with it. But when inflation gets high, home prices get outrageous, the price of gas triples, there's supply chains, there's a war going on, that's affecting a lot of food, oil, all the commodities and stuff. Like we're in the middle of a war, things are going down, people get nervous, they're pulling their money out of riskier investments, which Bitcoin is a riskier investment. Crypto is a riskier investment than, well, I say than real estate or the US dollar, but both of those are going nuts right now and they could crash at any time.
I think
But
it just all depends on your knowledge and your ability to understand the type of investment.
correct. And so that this article just goes on to talk about how, we might be hitting a crypto winter, which I feel like since we started doing this channel, they've been kind of kicking that around like, it's coming, and if it is coming, it's already recovered 30 or 40%. I don't know if, like we've talked about, if this is just the bounce and then it's going to continue to drop. But since the worst of it this week, most of them have returned 25 to 40%.
Yeah.
Some of them have already come back over 50%. So if that was the big drop, then we're not doing too bad. If it continues to drop, then and we are in a crypto winter, then for me it's just more of an opportunity to keep buying. Like I need longer chances to buy, not shorter
Right.
opportunities, because as your paychecks come in, you're just dollar cost averaging. I don't care whether it's going up or down, but to be honest, the more it goes down, the more I'm able to buy. I know that in the long term, these projects that we're going to talk about are going to go up. So the more opportunities, the longer the crypto winter is, that's just a great opportunity for me to keep buying. So when spring does come, I'll have profit ready to go.
Yeah, that's exactly why our little feed down at the bottom, I've got now is the time in capitalization, and then within parentheses, I've got weeks to months, because that really is the case. Is now's the time to start looking at making your moves or making your moves, but within reference. It's not like we live in such an environment where everybody wants you to feel like you got to pull the trigger now. Interest rates are going up in homes. You got to buy that house now. It doesn't matter whether if it's the house you like or not. Just buy it now before the interest rates go up. What kind of advice
Right.
is that? Crypto is bottomed out. It's going to skyrocket, go up, back up. buy it now. Well, I don't know anything about it. Doesn't matter. Buy it now. It's on its way up. Like, that's not, take the time, weeks, months. This, like you said, this is going to go on. And if this is never, there's always going to be opportunities. There's just a fire sale right now.
Right. Make sure when we say do your own research and kind of look into stuff, we're giving you some good information. But when you just pick one and go with it, that's how you end up in the current situation that a lot of people are who invested in Luna.
Yeah.
Luna is a big one. It is tied to a stable coin, the UST. It's had a bad week because everything else has been down this week. The stable coin, I'll just give you a quick, brief understanding of what went on. The UST stable coin, because all the markets were dropping and Luna dropped, it's algorithmically pegged to the US dollar. So once it hit a certain point, it dropped to less than $1, down to 98 cents. And that caused some instability and some panic. So people started pulling out. And when people started pulling out, because it's not actually backed with real assets, it's algorithmically backed up. And I don't know exactly how that works. But because there wasn't real assets behind this stable coin, when they started pulling out, they had to start selling Luna and some of the assets they did have to try to get it repegged to the dollar. Well, once they started doing that, or minting more of the Luna coin, once they started minting more Luna, it lowered the value of that. Once people who had Luna and or UST started seeing all the prices drop, a lot of them pulled their money out to put it into more stable projects. Once more people pulled their money out, it was just like an old-fashioned run on the bank, like in the old days. Yeah. Once the pull party started, then it just killed it. I mean, like, everybody started pulling it out, and everybody said, well, I'm not going to pull it out, unless it gets down to 75 cents. Then when it hit 75 cents, they pulled it out. Then the people who were like, I'm hanging on no matter what. Then when it gets to 50%, then they pulled it out. And it's like, because everybody kind of has their point where they can no longer tolerate it. They've been pulling out. And the bad part is there are bad projects out there. And I know we've said it several times. Some of these won't come out of this crypto winter. Some of these projects that are riskier assets, like an algorithmically based stable coin, might not make it. The good news is they shouldn't make it, because unlike the real world, like when Bank of America and all those companies, Lehman Brothers, when they made poor financial choices and set up their algorithms and they were loaning out money and they were just doing terrible business, and the reaper finally came for them and they had to pay the piper, the government stepped in, bailed them all out, and they gave each other $1 million bonuses. Everybody who worked, you know what I mean? Like, the free market only works if you let the free market work. You have to let some things die. And now there's a lot of people. Luna's not dead yet, although it is barely on life. It is on life support, and it's on a battery, and that battery is dying quick. So I don't know what's going to happen with Luna. There's a lot of people who, one, like Luna, and two, still have assets tied up in Luna. So they're trying to sell some Bitcoin. They're trying to repeg the stable coin to the US dollar. They're trying to stabilize, even though they've lost a lot. I don't know how this is going to shake out. But personally, myself, yesterday, I bought $100 worth of Luna because it went from, last month was over $120 a coin.
Yeah.
And it's less than a fraction of a cent right now. So, and that's Luna, because what happens is, in order to restabilize the stable coin, they can literally just mint more Luna. So they have to mint it. It's basically overinflation in the crypto world. And so it went from, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut. Yeah.
That's all right.
That seems to be one of the, we've heard over many, many months now that's one of the biggest concerns is the circulation. What's in circulation? What's being held back?
Right. And their supply went from 370 million a month ago to several billion now. They're making it so fast just to try to recover some that probably won't ever go back up to the prices that it
Right.
was at, not without some massive burns. But
To,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. To be clear, are you of the opinion this was a project that didn't have how do I want to say this without pigeonholing you? Didn't have real utility or was kind of lacking, or is it just a project that what you think might have been inflated just with all the other projects that are inflated or had been?
Yeah, no, I actually, a lot of the crypto guys that I follow on YouTube had a lot of good things to say about Luna and the UST. They,
Right.
and a lot of them use it for their stable coins. When stuff's getting crazy, a lot of these guys, one of specifically that I'm thinking of, moved a bunch of his stuff into UST. And then when that started dropping, it was like, what do you do at that point? Because that's supposed to be the stable
Right.
coin. So the way I understand it, these guys who do way more research on the market than I do had every faith in Luna. So it's hard to know which ones are going to go and which ones won't go and whether or not this will recover.
Right.
But in this industry, in this market, that there is no fail safe there. You know what I mean? There's nobody that's going to step in. So unless you are tight and doing what you need to do in every asset, Tether,
Right.
they're not backed 100%, but they have real assets. They have Bitcoin. They're invested in several other projects. If the price of Bitcoin went to 10,000 tomorrow, then you'd see other projects like Tether probably do the same thing. They would probably unpeg
Yeah.
from the US dollar. I mean, that's just the nature of the business. But Luna wasn't just some fly by night company. They were running also financial services. You could lend for it. You could stake your money and earn a return on it. It just, once that ball started rolling, once a couple people started realizing that, hey, there is no FDIC insurance here, you get out, you can get your 90 cents on the dollar, or you can risk it going to zero. People just pull their money out immediately.
And that's what I'm getting at is for lack of better words, is this a meme coin that has no real value other than being propped up, or is it actually have, protocols and things that are worth? Because to me, that's what it comes down to, because this thing is, I mean, it is bottom of the barrel. I mean, there it is, 99.7% down at the, at least when this article was written.
Right.
So if there, to go from a name, lack of better words, to go from a name brand crypto company to
Right.
this,
A top 10 company in market cap.
So it sounds like it was just an emotional knee-jerk reaction that then became a domino effect. So to me, you and I talked about this yesterday. There's potentially a ton of value there. Take you.
Right.
You put $100 into it. You lose $100. You're not that worried about it. The risk
Right.
that you're willing to take for the possible return that could come out of this is
Right.
easily worth $100.
I agree, and it's one of the things, whether you like it or hate it, it's one of the things that are probably going to lead the stablecoin market into being the first ones regulated by like the US government, the first ones, because they're not going to let institutional investment firms get into an industry where the bottom can fall out like this. Like, you'll never be able to probably institutionally invest in Dogecoin, because Dogecoin right now is a meme coin that is based on its value is based on the users who value it. There's not a whole metaverse. There's not a whole project. They're not doing a whole lot with it. It's just a meme coin, just a value based on its own value. But stuff like these stable coins are supposed to be pegged to the dollar, and you can't just peg it to the dollar. You have to have the financial backing to where every dollar you're lending out, you have the dollar behind it. And this one had some very creative algorithms that kept it pegged there. And so they mint a little bit more Luna when they needed it, and they would sell or burn a little bit more Luna when they didn't need it. And so just because once that, black swan event, once that thing that nobody was planning for started happening, they had a couple fail safes, and those fail safes worked up until they didn't. And then once it got past those fail safes, then that starts a whole nother black swan event where people go, oh my gosh, that failsafe didn't work. It went from $1 to 95 cents. It just lost 5% value on something that's supposed to be pegged to the dollar. So then everybody pulls that out. Well, then when 70% of the people pull their money out of a $50 billion market cap, well, that breaks all your other fail-safe. You know what I mean? It just starts falling through floors. You're building up speed, and that's why it's just dropped to nothing. Now there's several billion coins, Luna coins, in circulation now. So I really don't know. This is the kind of stuff that I like to do. I did invest $100 in it yesterday, and it's already dropped another half. I think it's worth about $45. But if I lose it, I don't do any leverage. And a lot of people that really got wiped out are ones that were using leverage or, had some on loan. I'm not doing any leverage. I got $100 in there. If it goes to 000 and Luna closes its doors and ceases to exist, I'm out $100. But if it's a good enough company and they could, I didn't buy it when it was at $20 or $10 when it had lost 80, 90, 95%. I only bought it once it had dropped 99.9%. Basically, it's a fraction of a penny.
Yes. Yeah.
So I bought some because I can at most lose 100, and who knows when crypto winter is over. I've got 2.5 million. I forgot how much it was. I got a lot of Luna, so it's got a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
I like projects like that. Obviously, there are more responsible investment choices if you're looking for that route, and we're going to get into those right now.
Let's do it.
You got anything to say about Luna before we go on?
I pulled a curse sting yesterday, and kinda. It might turn out to be fantastic. I went in and bought some Luna myself, and I was monitoring a bunch of stuff and throughout the day, and then I was like, okay, I'm definitely, after talking to you, I pulled the trigger on Luna, and then I pulled the trigger on Gala. Gala is up 50 or 60%.
Yeah.
Except I didn't buy Gala. I went back and bought more Luna and didn't realize it. So I bought two portions.
Oh no. Oh no. Why would you say that's a cursing? That's nothing I would ever do. What the heck are you talking about?
I'm saying that because Luna's going to the moon again, and it's going to be all thanks to you, and it'll be a curse thing. I mean,
gotcha.
It's
gotcha. A curse thing, the family curse.
Not a Josh. Gotcha. A Ben curse thing. It's a positive, not a Josh.
No, look at that. Since the episode started.
I have nothing to add. I'm ultra excited. In all respect to those who have lost a ton of money. All respect to those who've lost a ton of money. I'm very excited to get in on some projects that I've been watching and waiting for.
Right. 100%. Actually, since the episode started, Luna's up 100% of what it was at the beginning. It's gone from $40 to $88. So there's a lot of fluctuation. I'm not sure whether I'm going to try to take a cheap, if it doubles, if it goes up 10 times, if I should try to take some profit. Obviously, you don't want to hold on to it for forever because then that's how you end up riding it all the way down. But
I think we've clearly established now that that when we talk about projects on MetaMentors, they go up immediately. Like I think we've now officially figured that out. So really, you have nothing. You have nothing to worry about as long as we keep talking about it. It's just going to keep going. So
yep. Not financial advice, but do exactly what we say and buy exactly what we're talking about. All right. But here are some better ideas for investing instead of stuff like Luna or Dogecoin, which by all means, I'm going to be taking some shots. I'm going to be taking some long shots on some long shot projects because now's the time to do it. When those drop 90%, oh man, there is so much money to be made. Even with Bitcoin dropping 50%, it's going to have to get back to 60,000 before I even, before it even goes a 1x or 2x. So it's always harder to make the money with the bigger, safer, more established projects But when the whole market drops like this, that's the time to get in. Now's the time to secure a little bit of everything. We're going to start with some of these projects that I think are well worth your consideration for the bloodbath investment right now to go ahead and buy some. You ready for the number one?
Yeah.
Solana. Solana is they call it the Ethereum killer. I don't think anything's going to kill Ethereum. It's on our list here in a little bit, but it is a decentralized blockchain. It does smart contracts. It does a lot of the stuff that Ethereum does. And it's faster, better, and can move more money than Ethereum can right now per transaction and per second. So Solana has got the Solana coin. It was up over, I don't have the exact numbers on these, but I know Solana was over $200, and during the drop down to about $38, I think was the last time I saw it. It's already back up to over $50, but it's 25% of what it was at its all-time high. So now is a good time to get into something like a Solana. The projects that are more than meme coins, the projects that actually have projects and teams and stuff being built on the blockchain, these are good investments. Yeah. Solana has NFTs. Solana has DeFi. They have smart contracts. There's a lot of positive things, and they can do it's so fast. Like Solana, they call it the Ethereum killer because right now Ethereum, has only got I don't remember how many transactions per second, but Solana blows it out of the water. So it's definitely faster than Ethereum. What we are running right now on Ethereum, it's a good option. It'll be around for a while. I like Solana.
I'll add to that. I think I'm gonna put something out there. I think Solana would have been a lot closer to an Ethereum killer, except for they've had momentary crashes in the system multiple times, even just this year, but even into last year. That being said, the product is so good that it usually is only a blimp on the radar.
Right.
Otherwise, normally, if you're using Google and Google crashed on you 3 times in a 3-month period, you might be out on Google. People are still using Solana's still growing like crazy. Yeah, I'm with you. Great, very good project.
Next up is one that Ryan and I both really like because of its affiliation with projects that we really like. The Polygon Network is another one. Originally called Matic Network. The coin is still called Matic, MATIC. It's an Ethereum token. It powers the entire Polygon network, which is a very convenient scaling solution for the Ethereum network. It's a level 2, or a layer 2 side chain. It allows you to buy and sell stuff on these projects for much less gas fees than what you do if you were buying level 1 Ethereum. Next Earth uses it. That's what we've been using to buy properties on Next Earth. They also have an entire, blockchain where they've got NFTs. I've got Polygon, NFTs. It's another one that does a lot of the similar stuff that Ethereum does. I don't think there needs to be, it's not who's going to come out on top at the end. To me, it's like potato chips, Sometimes you feel like Doritos. Sometimes this works out better. There's going to be a lot of people at the end of this. And if you got a good product, it doesn't have to be one or the other. I think Polygon has its own reasons and its own community. And a lot of this stuff, it's just who depends to build on what. I mean, if there was only Solana, maybe Next Earth would have built on Solana. But they're able to make it work with Polygon. And once you get deep into a certain blockchain and you're doing a bunch of stuff with that blockchain, that's just what you build on. That's just how you do it. It's just like any other programming language or code. Whatever you're using, you can change it. But when people like something, that's what they stick with. Polygon has dropped from several dollars to I bought quite a bit as soon as it hit $1, because since we started buying Next Earth, I have not seen Polygon under $1. So I bought a bunch at that. Then it dropped another 50%. and I bought a little bit more. It's come back up. It's on its way back up, but I'm going to try to buy as much as I can under $1, because then as that rides back up, that's going to be what's going to buy us more land in Next Earth.
Yes.
So when Next Earth starts staking and having some interest bearing stuff on their project, I want to be able to buy what I need with Polygon.
Yeah, and that's such a good point. There is, you're buying Polygon, which to me is one of the best crypto out there, because of what it is, because of its infrastructure, because of what it is, and all of the projects that are involved with it. But so it's fantastic to buy Matic at a reduced price, but at the same time, you can use that as a tool to buy, all sorts of things that take so you're buying it at a great price as a investment tool. You're also buying it as a utility tool that, as the projects increase in price to buy in, the cheaper you buy Matic that's used to buy into those projects, the cheaper you're able to buy into those projects. So it's a two for one, which is fantastic. Like it doesn't get any better than that to me for projects.
And Polygon is accepted, this stuff is accepted worldwide by big companies, small companies, and individuals. One of the things that we've talked about on this channel is I've got a couple guys that help me with another project that like to get paid in Dogecoin. So I like to buy Dogecoin as cheap as possible. And right now I am buying some Dogecoin, because I know that a 10-cent Dogecoin, when it gets back up to a quarter or whatever it gets to, I'm basically buying their services right now for 75% cheaper, because when it goes up to 25 cents, I'll pay them based on the current, amount. I don't really care so much about Dogecoin, but I know people who do, and I'll be able to buy the services that I need from them with Dogecoin. And now is the time to prepay for it, get them while they're cheap. And when it gets up there, and so Dogecoin isn't on our list of, safer investments right now. You want stuff like Polygon, because Polygon, if you need to, can be converted into Dogecoin, can be used for other projects. There's a lot of stuff. It depends on what you're looking to do in the future. I am buying Dogecoin, but that's for a very specific purpose that I need. But Polygon, very general purpose. If you're looking for, like I said, this list right here is 6 very safe, what we would consider safe projects to invest in. If you're looking to capitalize on this dip right now, Polygon is one of our safest bets. Concur?
100%. And we are not the only ones. I hear that from a lot of major investors.
Yeah, these are the ones that we're using here. The ones on our list are projects that are not waiting around for the coin to go back up. They're being used for trading. They're being used to have these smart contracts built upon. They don't care whether the price is $3 or 50 cents. The technology is being used in their company right now, and that is specifically true with the next one, the BNB coin. The Binance coin. It's the crypto asset that's backed up by the exchange Binance. If you have those, if you're buying and exchanging crypto on Binance, and you're using the BNB coin, I think it's like a 25% discount on your trading fees. You use it in transaction fees on the Binance Smart Chain, which has its own. There's a lot of projects that you can't get into unless you go through the BNB Smart Chain. I know some of the smaller, it's like similar to Ethereum, but it's a lot of the smaller, harder to get to projects. You got to move it over to the Binance Smart Chain first. So I use BNB quite a bit, and that had a huge jump maybe last year or 2 years ago, where it was a small project, and then all of a sudden the Binance coin went up to $500, and it is on sale right now. And it's just one of those. I know you can stake it on several different exchanges and several different applications. So BNB coin is a very safe coin. One, you can use it while you're exchanging all your other safe and not safe coins if you use Binance. And two, it's valuable and it backs up a very solid crypto company.
Yeah, another infrastructure. That's actually, side note, that's Next Earth originally was on the Binance chain and then moved over. They saw an opportunity and moved over to Polygon.
Gotcha. I think since I've been on with Next Earth, I think it's always been Polygon because I had to do the bridge from Ethereum to the Polygon network. But
me also. I actually found it like I think a week or two after I started, and that was a big move. That a lot of people. Well, we don't need to go. We don't need to go down the Next Earth path. Let's move on.
we always want to go down the Next Earth path. That's a project that we love, and that's a project that we will go into in future episodes, even more in depth than we already have. But yes, BNB, that's an exchange token. That brings us to what I believe. I don't like to say stuff like Ethereum killer or BNB killer, but me personally, I think crypto.com man, it's just got so much potential. I think that they're doing everything by the book and within the regulations to be able to operate in America. And America has, 350 million people that are ready to dip their toes into the crypto market. Like Matt Damon says, future favors the brave, or fortune favors the brave. Crypto.com has their own coin. Used to be called the Crypto.com coin. Now it's called Cronus, or the tag for it is CRO, the Crow coin. They have trading, investing, staking, crypto wallets, NFTs. They're dipping their toes into metaverse projects. There's some talk about them being a major player in the metaverse in the next couple years. They bought advertising rights for the old Staples Center for 20 years. They're obviously airing Super Bowl commercials. BNB not airing Super Bowl commercials. BNB is classic. It's been around for forever. People like it, but crypto.com is going for the future. They're going for everybody right now for a full service alternative to traditional banking. And I love it because that's what I'm looking for in crypto. Your screen is still up. I don't know if you want that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, that's all right. I just, if we're looking at personal emails. All right, Kurt.
Yeah. That's probably going to get me in trouble, especially since we're live.
Right. That was the only reason I said anything. I could have edited it out later if we weren't live. But yeah, crypto.com arena. They've got LeBron James. They're teaming up with Formula One. They've got a lot of athletes and actors, top tier advertising, and people don't, you can make fun of it all you want. In fact, every one of those articles that's making fun of Matt Damon for being in their ad mentions crypto.com about 20 times. And no other exchange is getting mentioned on that many articles right now. You know what I mean? And so it's getting stuck into people's mind. And I think on top of everything, just their name recognition, they just nailed it by securing crypto.com, because when the crypto market recovers, and it will, it doesn't matter what you're buying or trading, or whether it's just Bitcoin and Ethereum left, you'll be able to buy them on crypto.com, which is an American-based exchange that you'll be able to stake them. You'll be able to earn interest. They've got their crypto debit card. They have so many services. And right now, their coin's down about, this high was around 80 cents. And I bought a whole bunch more at 17 cents. I think it dropped down to 15 or 16. It's back up to 20 right now, but still 50, 75% off of what it was at its highest. So now's a good time, especially if you're interested in getting a crypto.com account, because with their debit card, you can actually earn crypto cash back when you're buying stuff. And the way these debit cards work is there's the bottom tier, which is free, and it earns a certain percentage, pretty low percentage. But if you're staking at least $4,000 worth of Crow coin, then you earn even more crypto cash back. Plus, you get like free Netflix, and I don't know if it's free Hulu or free.
I think Spotify was on there.
Spotify, yeah. So right now, I mean, if it goes from 15 cents to 60 cents, you only have to put $1,000 in right now. And when it gets back up to 60 cents, you've got the $4,000 minimum. You're ready to get that next tier of debit card. So that's a huge one for me. That's one that I personally, and you'll hear me say this, I've said it in previous episodes, and I'm going to say it in future episodes. That's one that I like, and I'm going to keep putting money into it because I think crypto.com is the future of American crypto, because it doesn't matter what comes and goes. I think you'll be buying it on crypto.com. At least that will be a major player in the industry.
Yeah, I know when we talked about it in previous episodes, they're either going to the moon, as they say, or they're going bankrupt because they're all in.
I agree, and I don't agree that they're going bankrupt. I know we said that at the beginning, but the more I look at them digging in, the more projects that they're taking on under their belt. Like I said, I can't wait until we get to include them in our metaverse. We'll do an episode on crypto.com's inclusion into the metaverse because they've got some stuff going on. They want to get into play to earn games. They're trying to get some of the games that already exist onto their blockchain. And rather than paying with BNB coins or Polygon, they're trying to get some Crow coin activity. And once that happens, I just think there's such a big market in America that isn't being met by any of these outside exchanges.
Man, and again, because this just popped back in my head. You know, one of the coolest things about crypto and Web3 and stuff like this is, like you're saying, like you buy some currency or you buy some crypto.com crypto because you want to see it go up in value. It's investment. But along the way, you get benefits if you go ahead and open a card with them. They're going to go into gaming. You can almost bet you're going to get some benefits there. You know,
Right.
You know, the decentralized Web3 crypto environment, metaverses, that's what it's all about, is utility, you know, all the little extras and goodies. Using your Coca-Cola reference earlier, if you bought Coca-Cola stock, they didn't send you Coca-Cola to drink. They didn't give you the teddy, you know, the polar bear. Like, you just owned the stock and you hoped it went up. That's not the, you know, that's a small portion, it's a big portion, but it's only one of the things that you get when you buy into some of these projects.
Right. And I keep using Bank of America. That's what I use for my traditional finance company. And so when you sign up for Bank of America, they're using all of that information on where you're spending your money, where you're buying. They're loaning your money out. When you're buying stuff on a credit card, they're earning interest on you. And that company is getting bigger and richer, and they're making their stockholders, you know, wealthier and wealthier. And the way that Web3 works, now they're going to make their owners and the people invested in it, they're going to make them rich too. But the whole idea is that you start owning your information. You start having the opportunity to where, hey, they say, if you'll use our debit card, then we'll pay for your Netflix, your Amazon Prime. If you spend enough, we'll pay for your Hulu. We'll pay for, you know, all this kind of stuff. And we'll start giving you cash back in crypto just for using our project, because you know that every company that you ever do any business with is using your information in some way, whether it's your address, whether it's your shopping habits, whether, you know, you got to have a Dillon's card, you got to have a Best Buy card. They want your information as much as possible because they want to know how to get you to buy more and how to get people like you to buy more. And there's no denying that that's what a lot of the crypto companies are doing, but they're saying, hey, you know, that's what we're going to do. Use our card and we're going to split some of this money with you. We're going to, like I said, pay for some of your streaming services. We're going to give you cash back on money that you're spending. Let us know you use this as many places as possible, that gives them a marketable asset that they can use for other things, to grow their company, to make their company better. And in turn, you're getting to control who sees your information, and you're getting some financial reward for doing it. I think crypto.com has just really, I really think that it's the go-between. It's going to be more of a traditional finance for younger people right now. You're not going to go to a bank. You're not going to go to Bank of America to get a loan for a car. You're going to do it somewhere like crypto.com. You're going to stake your Ethereum, get a loan, go buy a real car, pay it back, and you're going to do it with your Crow card. That's my thought.
They're the bridge for crypto America.
I think so. You can quote me on it.
Because
if it's not, you'll take me where?
Take you to the bank, the crypto bank.
Yes, there you go. Take it to the bank. Take me to the crypto.com bank.
There you go.
That's where all my money will be anyway. You getting ready to say something, or you good?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. The next up, I've got two left. The two most obvious cryptos that you should always be investing in all the time, whether they're way up or way down. The two OGs. First one is Ethereum. Second one is Bitcoin. Ethereum right now is the second largest crypto in the world as far as market cap goes, but it's probably the most versatile and usable. Bitcoin, they've got some projects that are using the Bitcoin network, some payment networks, some rails that you can use Bitcoin, but mostly it's a store of value, and it's got such a huge market cap that it's a great store of value. But Ethereum is everything else. Ethereum right now is the next version of the internet. There's networks built on it. There's DeFi projects built on it. There's gaming, web browsing, finance, advertising, identity management, supply chain management. There's so many projects going on Ethereum right now. The gas wars that you hear about, the gas fees, there's a reason for that. There's a reason that people are willing to pay that amount of money to get this stuff to go through, because Ethereum right now is the best option for that. They're working on some proof of stake rather than proof of work, which is going to make it go faster. It's going to make it more environmentally friendly. It's going to make it a whole better project. When that comes out, I think you're going to have missed your opportunity to get it at the prices. I think even double what it is right now is a good price to buy it, because once proof of stake comes out, I think that's it. I think people are going to be staking it, holding on to it. The price is going to go up. In fact, Kathy Wood from ARK Invest, she guesses that by 2030, an Ethereum is going to be between $170,000 and $180,000. She said that's just what they're buying Ethereum based on that knowledge, because what you can do with Ethereum, the fact that the next round of the internet is going to be built on Ethereum, the fact that most DeFi projects are already on and working on Ethereum. She said the market cap, they expected the market cap of Ethereum to go above Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's limited to 21 million coins, and it's a great store of value, but it's like
it doesn't offer the utility that Ethereum does.
That's exactly what I'm going to try to say. There are collector cars, there are nice cars, but you don't build nearly as many of those, because every day people have to go to work, and people don't need to, everybody doesn't need $100,000 car sitting in their garage, but everybody needs a little Honda Civic to get to and from work. So there's way more Ethereum. The market cap's going to go up because it has to be used. They have to use it for minting NFTs, for building these DeFi projects, for doing smart contracts, gas fees. It's just going to get up there. They're expecting it to be right around $200,000. And, that was 10 years ago, I think, when they were talking about it. But that's really only 8 years from now, 2030. Yeah. I mean, and that's a 25, 30X even more from where we're at right now in the dip. I think you cannot ever go wrong. Plus, there's so many places that you can stake Ethereum. You can buy a little bit here and there and just start throwing it in. Even on Coinbase, and Coinbase doesn't have the option to stake a lot of these or to earn interest on it, but you can stake Ethereum 2.0 right now and start earning interest on it. Yeah. And I just think you just can't go wrong, especially at the price that it is right now. It will be around in 8 years.
Yeah, the utility is just so much. And I was listening to a conversation to a couple very smart individuals, and they were saying, there's all this talk about Solana being the Ethereum killer and this project, this chain and this and stuff. But the reality is, and this is what they're saying, I didn't do my own research on this or anything, but I hadn't heard this. So it piqued, I heard it and I piqued my interest. I opened my ears, but they were saying if Solana did the volume that Ethereum did, it would be just as backed up and costly gas wise as Ethereum is. And so it's like, it's all about the numbers. So you can say all these things, but until you're doing the numbers. Now you said Solana is doing a lot more volume. So I don't know that that's the case.
No, I think they're capable of doing a lot more volume, okay. But I don't think that they are.
Yeah. So that's very interesting. And a lot of people are hinging their Ethereum bets on Ethereum 2.0. And that's been promised for some time. And is going to be as revolutionary as they say it is. And I don't know a lot about that. There hadn't been a whole lot of talk about it here lately, but yeah, Ethereum Ethereum comes up over and over again, and it definitely seems like a very solid investment, and it's extremely usable in projects and staking, and it's endless. You need Ethereum for so many things.
Right.
Right now.
And we're looking for projects that aren't fads. We're not looking for the next Dogecoin. These projects that we're talking about right now, these are ones that you can really depend on to be there. They might fluctuate again in price, but these are safe bets, at least as safe as the crypto market goes. And Ethereum, because of its many, many use cases, is a good choice. Know what I'm saying?
I concur 100%.
And with that being said, not everybody, but a lot of people, if you're in the industry, you know that Bitcoin is the top dog. It's the OG. It's been around for now almost 15 years. People like Michael Saylor and a lot of other, even Elon Musk, they bought a bunch of Bitcoin for Tesla. It's just the ultimate property. It's the ultimate store of value. You can buy it. You can hold it. Once the institutional money starts to pull in, once other companies start to realize you can keep it on your balance sheet as actual property that's not taxed, that's not, you don't have to upkeep, it's not real estate, you don't have to pay property taxes on it, you don't have to upkeep it. It's just a perfect store of value. Once people get a better understanding of that, who knows where the price on that's going to go. They're going to be minting coins. There's only 21 million tokens that will be minted. They won't be done minting until 2140. We'll all be long gone by then. But the coin won't, the algorithm, the way that it's built up, it's built to last. We're talking generational wealth if you're buying Bitcoin right now.
Yeah, now or even in the future, whatever. I've
yeah,
heard it,
right now, as in the next 20 years.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the proper comparison, but I hear it compared to gold all the time, and I think that's just the easiest thing for people to compare it to.
Yeah, and as certainly, there's a lot of big differences. It's got a lot of the quality benefits of gold, but it's also got a lot of the problems that gold has. It doesn't. So say you had $1 billion and you were up and out, you had to flee the country tomorrow, you were in war-torn Ukraine and you had to leave the country right now, you're not moving $1 billion worth of gold across the line, but you can basically memorize a 12-word passcode and move an infinite amount of money in Bitcoin wherever in the world you want. And it's hard to put a price on that, because that's real ownership of a real property. And that's something I don't think the world, we have not had ever. Like, this is such a new, you know what I mean?
That's blockchain. That's what blockchain is true ownership, which is what makes Bitcoin work, makes these things work, that you can have faith and trust in them.
My mind's starting to wander so much right now. I feel like I got to get back on track here, because I think about all the stuff that Michael Saylor talks about when his company started investing heavily in Bitcoin. And it's like, oh my gosh, everything he says, I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. You know what I mean? Like, you just want to go buy as much Bitcoin as possible, because man, it makes so much sense when they're talking about this kind of stuff. So to sum it up, in this time of scary markets and low prices, Solana, Polygon, BNB, Crypto.com, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, those 6 are my personal choices for very safe and stable projects to invest in right now.
You can take that to the bank.
You can take if they're not, then I'll be in so much pain financially that you'll never be able to find me anyway.
Yeah. If those, not financial advice, but if those fail or all of those failed, then the whole crypto market is failed.
Right.
It's shot.
Yeah.
It's done.
Then we're going to have internet will be down. There'll be so much problems that you won't even think to come yell at me for giving you bad advice. But you got anything you'd like to add to that list?
No. That was extremely thorough. I'm in agreement. I'm going to enjoy and own a lot of that already, and enjoy buying some other projects also that that I think are very foundational, but also some long shots too. So again, all possible to the emotional collapse, the bloodbath that is currently, going on. And I say that lightly. I mean, that's what people are using, but just a lot of opportunity right now. And that's what we're focusing on. You could miss out on this opportunity if you're glooming and dooming, which is that is just easy to do. So looking forward to covering a lot more.
I know that you're a Shiba Inu maximalist. So are you suggesting that people don't need to invest in that right now, and that maybe stick with it?
Oh no, it is definitely, that I can't even remember why I bought some, but I might have $300 in it or something, right? So not very much, but it's not even on my radar. There's so many other ones that just make so much sense to me. The risk reward is just, it's not even close. The reward versus the risk with some of these projects that to me just make so much sense from the technology standpoint. That I don't buy very many meme coins. There's too many projects out there that are dirt level cheap right now. And I've been looking at a lot of gaming tokens and governance tokens and stuff. There's a lot of those that I'm very interested in. Gala, which we're getting ready to cover. A lot of potential there. So let's wrap this episode. We are just going to record Gala, but we've been going strong for almost an hour and a half. So I'm done. I'm going to shut up. You got anything?
Solana, Polygon, BNB Coin, Crypto.com, Ethereum, Bitcoin. Write those down. Make those your primary targets.
And please, if you're into some projects that you really like or think that you need to stay away from, send us a message. Put it in the comments. Check us out on YouTube, TheMetaMentors. We just opened up our Twitter account. We really, really want to hear from some other people and what they're involved in, what they've found that's good or bad. We're just 2 guys that are going down this path, figuring it out. So join us. Let us know what we should be looking at or staying away from in the comments. We greatly appreciate you watching the show. And this is the end of our very first live broadcast. Many more to come.
See you later.